damn in the first.
Our stuff has to look good when it goes out and stuff. So obviously you've seen our recording area, and because you did some work in there and stuff, and we're really proud of this. We built that room ourselves, tuned it, and I think it does a great job for us. We can play at stage levels here and not bother anyone in the building. And then, so this area is Joe Barbari's area. He's our OEM product manager. So all this stuff here are guitars he's touched for customers with prototypes and things that we're doing. So we threw the QSCs up there because they're so popular in small rooms and stuff, and we figured, well, we've got to deal with that sound when we design things because they got horns in them instead of tweeters, and the high end is very different, and we have to make sure our stuff sounds good through Fishman acoustic amps. People are playing to, deluxes sometimes. If they're electric player and they're doing an acoustic thing, they'll plug in there. So our stuff usually sounds pretty good through a clean Fender amp and other people's PAs. All hours of the night, this is where I dabble and do my bit when I'm designing pickups and things of that nature.
Golf clubs?
Golf clubs, yeah, you gotta keep
priorities.
Gotta keep limber at night, right?
Set this record straight. All the needles punching is making me irate. Sticking my bitch falling under fears. Where you gonna be in the next 5 years? The cool and all the fool and all the politics. Get your lips ready, gonna gang, gonna make you sick.
So this is our prototype developing lab, and a lot of stuff happens in here. Every single thing that we test has a complete test assembly that's dedicated to the circuit board. So this allows us to fully test with the help of some computers. This is a Loudbox micro head right here. And if we build it here, we test it all here. And if not, when it goes to one of our Asian suppliers, we build the same fixturing, send it to them, and they're testing on the same stuff we are. So there's no question, none of that going on. This is Andy's world, just figuring out, testing stuff for frequency response, all the things that we do to make sure that the pickups, and this is just for...
A dud never goes out.
Never goes out. Everything is within spec, and you can see if it doesn't fall within those lines, it's no good.
Yeah.
And this goes down into production with, they have their computer set up, so all the test routines that Andy develops here and the fixtures go downstairs into our test area, so everything is tested and swept and you name it. It's really precise, and it has to be to work. And
repeatability on the pickup is a huge thing.
These guys run day and night over here. They're making something here for either an assembly fixture, a prototype pickup, and we have 6 of these printers plus the large format multicolor printer. And we build a lot of assembly fixtures that end up downstairs, and they're 3D printed. So if the product volume increases, rather than building more fixtures, we just print more. Throw the program in the machine, come back in the morning, all your parts are there. And you can do small parts with it, or this is a press assembly for putting together Fluence pickups that have pressed in pole pieces and so forth. All our amps, which are our acoustic amps, are the best-selling amps in the world for acoustic instruments, without a doubt. We win every year, top 3 or 4 SKUs. This is a great project we did with Fender. When you plug this in, most people are playing acoustic, but when you go to the electric side, it's going to be going through a PA or something. It's going to sound like it's going through a cabinet. So we designed all of that, and he said, I think you're the only guys that can do this. And I said, well, we'll give it a shot. You got to do it all with 2 knobs and a 5-way switch. And I said, you're nuts. 2 months later, we showed him the prototype. A lot of hand assembly things going on here. You saw a bunch of that yesterday. That's under saddle pickup, getting ready for the sensing material to go in it. This is just the shielding material. Obviously, you saw that. Lester's Fluence core, which is engineering. He's a marvel.
Yeah, I know. If you got any rejects or something, I could take one home. I would love to.
Take that.
Okay. I would love to have just one piece.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm a nerd like that.
I'm giving away one of these, okay? One's missing.
I swiped a core.
Okay. You make all this stuff, and then you have to package a lot of it for shipping to your OEMs or for retail. So everything Fishman is beautiful when you see it in a store. It's a Jerry Douglas resonator. So all that ends up in retail stores. Those end up in OEM customers. Fluence packaging is a little different. It's our machine shop. Hey, Mike. So we have multiple CNC milling machines. You cut all these little plastic spacers out of that. You can also cut metal with it, cut things like that.
Dude, I want ninja throwing stars.
Right?
Who doesn't want a ninja throwing star?
Right? And when we bought this, we bought it just to engrave the logo on Fluence Pickups because the engraver was charging us a fortune. So we invested in this, figured we'd get paid back within a year, which we did, and it still engraves everything. And we use it every day to cut up other stuff. The Hardings is a world-class tool room lathe. If you have to do seriously precise small parts on this, that's the baby you want. We have some manual Bridgeports. This is what I learned on when I was building cars and motorcycles all the time. We can do short-run injection molded parts here.
Snowflakes?
Yeah, could be. And this is a full injection molding tool, so we can do Fluence parts out of ABS. We do it in this press. This is nothing we would do production with, but improving out parts, we want to make them with the real materials. And so we can mold just like the high volume production molding. We can do it here. But for prototyping, we can get like 1,000 pieces out of the mold before it starts to wear. And then we have a small wood shop here. If we want to do a prototype amp, we can prep some of the basic wood materials here. We cut it on the laser. We can build a whole cabinet with a sheet metal head these days without any extra special tools. Our under saddle pickups, we do 100% testing.
I love how you guys just make whatever you need.
These get tested for balance, continuity, all that important stuff. Like I said, 100% testing. Because if I send this to a guitar company like Martin or somebody, and they install it online and it fails, they've just lost their margin right there. They got to take it apart, pull it out, start over again. So our failure rate is less than 0.5%.
I would have guessed around 5. Well, what they say is acceptable and what actually happens.
3 is what they'll accept. If it's 5, they don't want it. Oh yeah, so we bring it up to tension, okay. It connects in here quickly with these little grabbers. You got a headphone there, you listen to it, bing, 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 bing. Make sure everything's balanced. You shake the wire to make sure there's no crackling or anything like that. This does a continuity test from ground to shield to make sure that, because there's some conductive paint in there, that everything made it the way it was supposed to go. And bada boom, it's passed. For someone sitting here and testing, it's less than a minute, and it's worth its weight in gold that time.
The testable resonator?
Yeah, so we have our transducers that go in there, but we build a pickup set into the wooden saddle pieces. So they just pop in here, and again, we do a full test with the air on, you know, like that. Isn't that cool? That gets us there. We can mute it while we're plugging it in. You listen to it, yada, yada. We had to have fun one day for the hell of it, so.
You guys ever have a tabletop test jam? Get them all tuned up and just play across the...
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, we got a lot of musicians.
Especially some
working.
slide.
And they have to be tested because if they're going to fail, they'll fail under pressure. This guy's the shit, man. It takes care of all the through-hole stuff and the stuff that the larger capacitors and the things of that nature, the stuff that we can't do in the surface mount room.
So how many does this thing blow through in a day of, like, say, just a Fluence humbucker?
Probably 150 or so.
And they're all perfect. Yeah, these are all the holding fixtures for holding the different things that go into the robot, because it's got to be in a precise position. So the different models have to go in a fixture. So
The amount of work it takes to build the shit to build shit.
right,
You build shit to build shit.
look at that, and all those things. You know, they're held down, so when the soldering head hits them, they don't fall on the floor. They're pressed up against here, and all the pressure points are supported.
And every time you have a new model, you got to do new shit.
Absolutely. Semiconductor dicing saw. It's got a little diamond blade. This is computer controlled. It's flooded with water when it's cutting, and that allows us to cut our hard ceramic pickups. There's the cutting edge. You see it? Mm-hmm. Not much. And that spins at about 35,000 RPM. And what are the
35,000.
Right? It's what we did. This is hard ceramic piezo that's laminated to this conductive circuit board material. So this will go in that machine. It's held with vacuum, and we cut them into little, fine little pieces. Pretty cool.
And then the pressure over it charges it or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All the piezo stuff is force sensing or changing force.
That's nuts.
Hi, you running anything? So Mick, here's a machine that you saw yesterday doing its thing. And these are circuit boards being populated for P90s. So that sucker in there is grabbing components off these reels and putting them in the right spot.
What's a machine like this cost?
We have well over $1.8 million in this system.
I figured it's
Yeah.
probably something nuts.
We can do surface mount boards. These loading cabinets here are all temperature and humidity controlled. The reels get loaded into these cases here, then it gets loaded into here, and you can see it's programmed when we're building a certain job. It knows what we need, and it picks all the stuff from us. If a reel runs out in the middle of the run, he gets an alarm, the machine stops, it replaces the reel. Each one of those comes off that reel. They're held on with a very low tack tape, so it gets split off here and it gets picked up by the machine. This is kind of cool. This is an X-ray machine. It's computer vision, so when the board comes through here, it goes under that and it takes a look at it and it tells us if anything didn't get dropped or if it didn't get soldered or if it's loose or something like that. It's not cheap, but boy, the stuff's good. This doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. Piezo active special polymer material, okay? And we manufacture this here, and this is our pressure sensitive material that goes in. You saw this stuff on the cable upstairs. That's for a certain level of transducer. This goes into our higher end matrix transducers and things of that nature. So we developed our system here. This is our extrusion line, and it's an ISO 9000 clean room. When we're in here, everything's shut. People wear booties and this and that. So that material we get as a powder, and we get it turned into pellets. So the pellets go in here. This control system controls this guy, and this is our extrusion head. It's a lip die right there, very precisely set. With that material, it's molten hot when it comes out. It goes through these take-up reels, which have cooling fluids running through them from those cooling tanks and everything. And it ends up being a roll of this stuff into extruded material. And then that gets cut into different shapes and stuff, but we have to polarize it first with multi-thousands of volts to make it active.
And I thought I would like to have my own guitar company. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want to have my own guitar company.
And then these needles here, and you can see them right here, all these pins, these needles. This power supply runs at about 30,000 volts DC and just glows like lightning in here, and that's what polarizes the material and makes it piezoactive. It's pretty cool.
And again, a homemade rig.
Yeah, this is all made in our shop.
Make yourself at home. You're here to stay. You won't bother me.
You know, to make this stuff, you need to have materials, right? So everything is barcoded, checked into the computer. Everything that goes out, it's counted. You take 100 bags out, you know, full inventory control of everything we have, every bit and pieces. So this is Fluence production that came through test, ready for packaging and so forth. I like to say we have more parts than a Radio Shack. That's why they're out of business.
Yeah, you bought out all their stock.
Right. Right now, 48 to 50% of acoustic guitars that are sold have some system in it, mostly ours, but some system. People want to play at home. And they say, well, you don't need to amplify at home. Yeah, because I can use a pedal.
It's a totally different tone. It's an absolutely different thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So these are amps that came in from China. We make them there. They come in here. We do drop ship from China to Europe and stuff, but the stuff that comes in here gets fully tested so we can make sure that our partners over there are doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? They all test there and so forth, but they come in here and they go through a sweep and rattle test to make sure that the wires aren't rattling from shipping and this and that. So this is just daily sweeping. And
Yeah, but
testing.
that's something too, is I'll bet you end up taking some shit takes a hit in shipping and can knock some parts loose, and it's not even your fault. It's just the handling once it left the building.
Yeah, so we will catch it here, and if it's a trend, we get in touch with our manufacturing partner. We'll change the packaging, the padding, all that stuff. And I got to tell you, they're really good. They deliver what we ordered and what we designed, and we prove it here all the time. Why not, right?
Need about a 3.5 horse Briggs and Stratton on that fire.
Yeah. And more testing here. Hey, guy, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. You running it?
doing?
Okay, let's watch you do a Fluence test. You're doing it. All right, so this is a sweep test that measures all kinds of things. So it goes into the fixture that we made. That's the circuit board. It's loaded. Boom. So this is testing noise, floor, frequency response, all kinds. This is frequency response. So we've got like 20 or 30 functions that we test on each board to make sure every single one is doing what it's supposed to do. So you can see here all the models. Each one has its own program and its own stuff. Michael Jackson.
I was like, Michael Jackson?
No idea. You tell me.
Well,
Right.
and that's what I mean about repeatability.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, that's
they have to do it because I'm watching. Right?
I don't know. I think you guys could probably clean up around here a little bit. I mean, it's kind of a mess. You guys really keep kind of dirty space. And I don't know. MIT? You only got guys from MIT
Yeah,
here?
that's right.
Well,
Well,
I don't know.
They're local. That's why we take them.
Oh, of course. Okay.